Kathy is from Readspeaker. Her title for this demo is Bridging the Gap with Assistive Technology, Utilizing Text-to-Speech to Empower Your Learners. And hey, Kathy, I'm going to turn it right over to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Let me give a thumbs up if you can hear me, if you don't mind. And Lee, that was an awesome presentation. I learned a lot. I had never heard of Lean, and I think that is such a cool tool. So awesome. So like we just mentioned, this is Bridging the Gap with Assistive Technology. And I'm going to try to make sure that I have plenty of time for questions. But I'm Kathy Wood. I'm the Educational Partner Manager at Readspeaker. And alongside me today is Ginger Dewey, our Educational Development Manager. If you've not heard about Readspeaker, let me just give you a quick synopsis. And I did see several familiar faces and names on the list of attendees. So hi again, if we have met before. At the top, you'll see our listen button. This is our flagship product web reader. But Readspeaker is a text-to-speech company, but we also like to talk about our accessibility tools. We have over 20 years of experience in the market. We're used by over 1,500 institutions globally. And we are very much a champion of UDL, where you help everyone, not just a few. And our products are easy to use and implement. And I think that's very important to mention, because if it's not easy to use and implement, then you're not going to use it. So let's talk about bridging the gap. Let's talk about, our students across the board and how they learn. This illustration on our slide deck is for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb the tree. I don't know about you, but I would love to see some of these animals try to climb that tree. And again, when we look at this image and we think about, bridging that gap for our students and our particular learners and how they learn, this should be eye-opening. And when we also talk about bridging the gap, we talk about disclosed and undisclosed learners. We think about dyslexia. We think about ADHD. We think about students that speak a second language where English is not their first language. A lot of these things, may not be in a 504 or an IEP plan or in a college level, accommodation need. But these things, really help us think about students and how we can help them learn better. Another one of my favorite illustrations. We have, let's call him the instructor, is shoveling the snow on the stairs. But if he had just shoveled the snow on the ramp, everyone could access the door. So again, we think about inclusivity and accessibility. So how does Readspeaker text-to-speech kind of fall into helping these students, empowering these students? Well, audio tools fit that UDL model. The what, the how, and the why. So presenting information in different ways, differentiating the way the student can express what they know, stimulating that motivation for learning. We're not going to be neuroscientists here, but really when you think about how audio can help students, this is really powerful information. Ginger?
Hi, everyone. How is Readspeaker implemented? Well, depending on which learning management system, it varies. We have everything from a global plugin to a JavaScript to a building block, being native inside it. We have an LTI for text aid, and it's a browser extension with single sign-on. No matter what your learning management system is, we have something that you can work with. Next slide.
Would you like to read your Canvas documents? You now can. In Canvas, when you navigate to a document or a file such as Word, PowerPoint, PDF, etc., you will see an icon which is a sheet of paper with a speaker on it that is located to the right of the file link. This is the icon for Doc Reader. Let's click on the Doc Reader icon. Doc Reader will open in a new window or tab. We can close or open the sidebar. Closing the sidebar is great for small devices. Let's move to slide 6 and listen to a sentence.
Your teacher or instructor may provide assistance outside of classes.
We can change voices or languages depending on what is available to your institution. We can expand the toolbar to see many study and focus tools, such as a page mask, a reading ruler, a highlighter, etc. Now that you see the vast amount of tools at your fingertips, you will want to give them a try.
As you just saw, that was our doc reader, and doc reader reads files. Okay, but files are things like Word documents, PowerPoints, EPUBs, PDFs, things along those lines. So what reads the HTML? And that's web reader. Kathy, you want to play the video?
Would you like to listen to your materials? If so, click on an HTML file like we have here. If you are using Blackboard or Canvas, click on the tab on the left side. You now have a Listen button at the top of the file. Click on Listen to hear the page read from top to bottom. Or you can highlight a section of the page and click Listen to hear that read to you. Before listening to part of the page, let's look at the Listen toolbar expanded. Notice that you have pause and stop tools. When you click on pause, the pause button will change to a play or resume button. If you stop the recording and want to restart the player for the highlighted section, click on the play button with the counterclockwise circular arrow. If you wish to move to a different portion, then highlight a new section and click listen. Let's listen to a part of this page.
Your institution most likely has other learner supports available.
The listen commands are great for streaming and increasing your vocabulary by associating the words you heard in class with their written form. Give it a try.
All right, there are a lot of other tools that we have, and some of those are like a page mask, enlarged text, plain text mode, and those allow our students to have the accommodations that they may need. For instance, enlarged text is not just about low vision. It's great for difficult courses. And page mask is not just for building focus, it can be for staying online if you're on a large screen. Let's look at this video about text aid.
The wealth of other tools which allows you to use a page mask, a reading ruler, a highlighter where you can gather your notes, annotate documents, and more. You can add Word, PDF, EPUBs, PowerPoint, and more to your library and have them read to you. Coordinators and group owners can share documents with others. Not only do you have this vast array of tools, but you can customize by adjusting the various settings to your personal needs. Take control of the reading speed, text settings of font color, font size, font type, highlighting color choices, reading area, and more. There is still more for you to discover in this.
And in that video, you were seeing things about a new our product Text Aid, and it is a very robust LTI, and it allows you to build this library. You can share documents with students. And the video we have up next is about exam mode. And exam mode is a way to give a paper pencil test electronically so that the student can have a level playing field with the audio. You're not giving away answers with facial expressions, and you're giving them independence and self-confidence by letting them re-listen. Kathy, the video?
Do you need to have a quiz read aloud and it is not in your learning management system? If so, then try out the Readspeaker Text Aid exam mode. The steps are easy. First, create an exam mode account for your student. Be sure to select Yes, Exam Account, and Single Seat Login. Next, upload the quiz to your library and share it with the student's exam mode account. Check that it is an exam and include the date and time the quiz is available. To access the test, the student or a proctor will log into the student's exam mode account and go to the Shared With Me tab in the library. The student can use a page mask or reading ruler. The student can adjust the settings to their preferences of reading speed, font color, size, type, and highlighting colors. Let's listen to question 1.
How are accommodations and accessibility different?
Using the annotations toolset, the student answers each question. Let's listen to the answer to question 1.
Accommodations are required by law to meet the accessibility requirements needed.
Annotations are automatically saved. Once the student finishes, the student clicks on Submit. You get a notice in your TextAid account that you have a quiz ready for grading. Go to your submitted exams in your library to access the quiz. See how easy it is to do? Why don't you give it a try?
And with exam mode, we're finding a lot of people are beginning to enjoy this because it's taking some necessary time off of the special ed instructors and teachers, the disability service folks. It's freeing up time that they can use for others. And some things that to think about are on the screen. We're compatible with most proctoring solutions. We haven't found one that we don't work with yet. You could share files with students. We integrate, as I said before, with all the major LMSs. And something that's very important is we provide the data for trackable tools. It is not unique data. It's the number of times something was accessed, which is important. Free support for the life of the license. Your tools are at your fingertips, and we offer more for less dollars. And I'd like to add that not only when we talk about support are we talking about technical support, but we also offer educational support. So we do ongoing professional developments with you, provide you with the files that you need in order to do what you need to do. Kathy?
Thanks, Ginger. I know, I feel like, I had a stopwatch going just to make sure that we were on time. So I know that that was a lot of information thrown at you. But we do want to mention, we do offer free sandbox environments so that you can actually test our solution with your content. There's no strings attached. And it's just as easy as emailing one of us and saying, hey, we would like to get set up to play around with these tools and see how it works. As Ginger mentioned, the support includes professional development and it includes personal demos. So, if your institution or your school district needs a refresher course during teacher learning days, you have new staff come in, it's great that that's all included. When we think about these tools for students, and we think about the way how everyone learns differently, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a student with a accommodation need or a defined disability. When everyone switched to virtual learning during COVID, my 16-year-old utilized the tools just to break up the monotony of online learning. My sister, who at 48 has gone back to nursing school, when she is taking her daughter to dance, she likes to use the MP3 download to digest some of the content before she goes back and hits the books again to study. So we have different, the definition of a learner has really changed, and the landscape of learning has changed. And so, why not think bigger picture wise in terms of how we can meet the learners where they are and the needs that they have. So I encourage you to look at readspeaker.com/education. We have a page for all the different learning management systems, or if you're a Google Classroom school, or if you're a Schoology school, each page contains how-to videos. I also want to mention we actually have our own internal linguistics team. So we actually create the voices from Voice Talent. And so we own the entire process. So if there are things that need to be corrected or customized for your individual school, we're able to do that on the fly because we own the voices. So I do want to open this up if we have any questions. Ginger, did you have anything else? I'm sorry.
Yes, I did. I wanted to say, when you look at a sandbox, the sandbox is in your environment. So you're kicking the tires with your documents, your files, so you know exactly how it works with your environment. And that's important because so many times you're testing in someone else's environment and it's not your stuff. So that is a good feature of this, because you are knowing, yes, it works with my information.
David, we'll hand it back over to you if we don't have any questions in the chat.